Operation Status Quo. Operation Status Quo. Prepare to engage. Operation Status Quo. Ready to engage. Operation Status Quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, everyone, my people. Beautiful people. It's me. Do you remember me? I was here yesterday and the day before and a couple days before that. And a couple days after this. Do you remember me? How you doing out there? Hello and welcome to Operation Status Quo. I am your user-friendly host, Pete Palma, and happy to be with you here today on the 20th of April in the good year 2023. And of course, it's the 20th of April. It's 420. So for all my pothead friends out there, I hope you're smoking them up and enjoying a good day of stonage. It's a big celebration day out there today. So. And the good thing about people who are potheads, it's like you're not going to find crazy crime. If it was like it's not like go to Mardi Gras or something, and everybody's all drunk and all whacked out and destroying everything. If you have a big pothead party, everybody just they smoke up and everybody just sits and stops, So really, that's probably what we should do now for the way the world is, as crazy as it's gotten over these past few years. I think we should just probably infuse all our food and water supply with THC. This way, it'll keep everybody cool and calm and collected until the planets can get aligned the right way again and get us all back on a nice even keel and playing nice together in the sandbox, as they say. So anyway, so welcome today, ladies and gentlemen. Today on Operation Status Quo. Of course, Operation Status Quo, where we observe the status quo, we learn to flow with the status quo, and then, of course, we create our own flow with our own quo, because sometimes the quo that is flowing isn't so good. That didn't rhyme that time. I didn't rhyme that time. I don't know what I gotta get it right. You gotta have a quo, yo. It's got to flow, yo. Hold on. I was thinking about it. I'm gonna use my little. You gotta have a quo, yo. It's gotta flow, yo. I don't know. It could be like some kind of little gimmick commercial or something. I don't know what the hell I'm doing over here. But today, the title of today's program, as you see, ladies and gentlemen, is called Perfectly Planned Demic, because basically this time of year right now, 3 years, I mean, I know it started, the pandemic started back in, really January, I guess, right, of 2020, but, didn't really get to the lockdowns and the shutdowns here, until March of 2020. But really, it was this month, April, that kind of sent me over the edge, because it was in April around this time. That's probably not the exact date, but it was right about somewhere in the early 20s, 21st, 22nd. I'm not sure what date it was exactly, but is when they, implemented the mask mandate. And that was it for me. I mean, that pretty much sent me over the edge. I mean, listen, we already knew that, this is a lie and all that kind of stuff to begin with. And, it's control and everything else. And then on top of it, they wanted me to put some kind of mask on my face, like a schlep. You know what I mean? Like I'm some sort of animal, like a worthless herded animal, like a lowly dog. I don't even know. I love dogs. I'm sorry. I love dogs. Please, I didn't mean that. Let me go back, because I love a dog. My dog is your dog. There's my dog. How you doing? It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I know. I know. It's so crazy. The fake pandemic. But perfectly plandemic. And so when the mask thing happened, that pretty much sent me over the edge. And that's when I went down all kinds of crazy roads. I think that's when I lost about half my back then friends on Facebook. Now I'm very happy. I've met so many more like-minded people, and a lot of which, online, social media and such, that I've never even met. And some of my best friends now that I actually have conversations with and such are people that I've never met in person. Isn't that amazing how the world changed, and then how you wound up being kind of guided towards people that were the same sort of mindset as you? It's just, I don't know. It's a pretty interesting thing. So, but what was the point I was making? That? Yeah, the mask. I'm going to say this, a lot of times people, they'll say, oh, why'd you move to Florida? I don't always, want to get into it, but I'll have to say that there's other reasons. And I had intended earlier, before the COVID thing happened, I had thought, well, one day I'll move to, Florida, or I would at least get a place here and go back and forth. I really thought about that, but wasn't as set on it as it turns out to be until the mask. I have to say that, I ate maybe a good 95% why I moved when I did. And I know the mask mandate, by the time I left, it was just starting to, they were letting it go. No, there wasn't going on down here in Florida. And I thought, listen, this is it. This is the world now, and you got to fight for your freedom. And if you want to be free, you got to go someplace where you can be free. And I'd be damn, bam, 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 bam. Remember Bam Bam on the Flintstones? Bam, 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 bam. I'm getting all pumped up talking about the mask, because I'll be damned if you'll catch me one of those things on my face, and I feel bad. Even down here, it's crazy. And I go into some of the stores, the grocery stores, and there's still people that have it on. Not like what I would see if I was, home back in New Jersey, because, people up there, it's a whole nother way. But whatever. Let's not pick on that, because that's not what we're here to talk about today. But I had to, let that up, because I was thinking about that as I was starting to do the show today, and saying, oh, wow, not only is it, is it 3 years about everything been going on, is it 3 years since the mask mandate? And I was thinking about how much that really juiced me up. And, I've been on a crusade to fight for the people ever since then. That's why now I am a man of the people. I'm a man of the people. You're the people. We're the people. Wouldn't you like to be a people too? You know what I'm saying? And before I get started into the topic today, just want to mention quickly, I have my shirt on. I want to support, although I came from Philadelphia, and I'm always going to be a Philadelphia fan of the sports teams, but the Philadelphia Flyers hockey team is such a sad disgrace, and has been really since Ed Snyder passed away. But anyway, that's a whole nother story on itself. But being here in the Tampa area, I want to give a little shout out to the Lightning. That's doing a great job. The Lightning, Tampa Bay, baby, doing a great job. They won the first game the other night against Toronto Maple Leafs, and they'll be playing again this evening, and hopefully we get 2-0 up on this series. And it's fun. It's really fun to watch, like, an actual, good team play hockey. So yes, thank you, Mr. Ayo. I appreciate that. All right, so today's perfectly planned Demic, ladies and gentlemen, and why I titled it that is because, again, here on Observation, I did it again. Here on Operation Status Quo, we observe, operation, observe. I don't know what has happened to me. When I first started doing this show a month ago, I had no problem saying Operation Status Quo, but I say so much about this is Operation Status Quo, and we're observing the status quo. I keep saying we're observing, so I keep calling it observation, but it's, anyway, please, can you just please help me out? All right, seriously. So anyway, here on Operation Status Quo, we observe what's going on in the world, and then, there's no right or wrong, good or bad. I have my own opinions. I say this all the time. I have my own opinions. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not trying to force anything down your throat. So I'm not here today to talk about whether the pandemic is fake or not, although that's what I personally believe, and I feel it's more than obvious. But anyway, that's for me, and we don't have to be enemies about it. Let's be friends, because we're all one big community, and we're trying to grow this world in a better space. And whatever is needed for you to believe to help you grow and be a better person, then I'm all for it. So, but anyway, there was and I call it perfectly planned Demic, because honestly, the pandemic was, no matter what, it was a beautiful thing. I just think it was an absolute beautiful. Oh, let me see if I answer this call real quick. This will be fun, because I know who this is. Let's see here. Let me put it on speaker. Hello.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, is this Dean?
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy? Listen,
Good. Are you at work?
Actually, no, I'm on live on YouTube right now doing my show. So I just got, yeah. So, you're welcome to say hello to my audience if you like to.
Hello, everybody.
Dean is my water filtration specialist, and I've gotten my reverse osmosis water machines and such from him over the years, and he supplies me with my filters when they need to be changed, and that's what I was calling him earlier today to get some new filters. And Dean, if you're going to be around, I'd be happy to give you a buzz back as soon as I'm finished here.
Yeah, absolutely. Go about your business. I actually have to work on a YouTube video myself.
Yeah, so. You want to promote what you do on YouTube real quick while you're here live with my audience?
No, that's fine. Okay. I make door dashing videos, but don't worry about it.
No, that's all right. I know. I remember we talked about that before. I watched some of those videos. They were cool, so good for you. All right.
All right, Pete.
I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye. All right, there we go. Let me give a round of applause for Dean. Dean's the man. Beans the man. Got to get my water filters from my reverse osmosis ionizing water machine. That's how you stay healthy, people, not vaccines. Hey-o. All right, so let's move on. What was I saying? Okay, let me go back to this. I say the pandemic was actually perfectly planned because no matter what you believe or whatever, I mean, I know there was tragedy. I know people have passed away, so I'm not making light of anything like that. But, let's just let that go for at this time because in reality, although it was a horrible thing in certain ways, think about how much it changed the way our world is going and how many people now are maybe doing things that they wanted to do that they've never done before or are looking at life in a different way. And that's the beauty of what we do here on Operation Status Quo. It's about observing and then finding like what works for us and how we flow with what's going on in the world. So I'm going to run through this list. There was someone online who went out, interviewed people to ask them what they found positive, what positive came out of the pandemic for them. And these are some of the responses that some of the people gave. So we're just going to go through this here, and I'll let you know how some people felt about what they were able to accomplish because of what happened with the pandemic. So here we go. This one says, I started working in the field that I wanted. So imagine that. You're working a job your whole life that you don't like, and then all of a sudden you get a chance to get a change, and that's what you do. This person said, I got a new job teaching. I became calmer. I have learned that no matter what your plans, anything can change. So anything can change, and that's true. And see how this person saying became calmer. And that's again what Operation Status Quo is about. We're observing and we're flowing and we're quoing. You know what I'm saying? And we're just like, and that's a beautiful one because no matter what happens, even from this day forward, there's always going to be something going on in the world that, shakes shit up a little bit or makes you uncomfortable. And it's always about finding that space to remain calm, to remain centered, and to not be reactive. So that's a good one. This one person said, I got a puppy. So there we go. We're back to the dogs. I talked about the dogs earlier, right? I got a puppy. It's always nice to get a puppy. The only thing I don't like about getting a puppy, I'd rather get an older dog. This way, I don't know if I can go through the whole effort of having the poor dog's nuts cut off, or I guess it'd be easier. I mean, if I get a female dog, I can't see it. They go inside and tie up the tubes or whatever they do in there. And, instead of just, cutting off the poor male dog's nuts, I just feel like it's a little intrusive. Don't you think? I don't know. Anyway, I had more time to enjoy my summer, given that I started doing school online and didn't have to waste so much time traveling. And I'll say that. It's been that to me. That's one of the best things about it is that now I'm working from home full time, and all that kind of thing too. And that never would have happened, if the pandemic didn't come about. We still would have been running 24/7 all over the place like a bunch of maniacs accomplishing nothing. But, you take all that travel out. Think about how much more time you have in a day when you don't have to spend an hour in traffic to get to work. Even if your ride's only a half hour, right? I mean, it's still time. So less traffic. Here we go. Less traffic. This person says, I was able to pay off some bills with my unemployment. Well, I guess that's a positive. You start getting those, they started running the printing machines over there at the Fed, to just print out more fake money and just give everybody checks and tell them to stay home. But that's good. At least you paid off some of the bills with the unemployment, So let's see. I finished the virtual summer 2020 running series, 202 miles. So I guess that must be on the Pelotron, or what the hell is that? Is that what it's called? Pelotron or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, the machine. I guess I don't have one of those. So I finished the virtual summer 2020 running series. So I figure that's one of those type of things. I finished my master's degree. How about that? What a great thing to do. Finish their master's degree. Figuring out ways to get out of the house while not being around other people has led to a lot more time spent outdoors. And, I'm going to say this too, because where I lived in Jersey, I had a nice place, my condo, and there was a little lake out behind my condo, and I would go for walks around the neighborhood. But once the pandemic hit, and then I was home every day like that, and I would go for walks every day, I just started to notice so much more nature in my neighborhood that I noticed before, different wildlife and such around the lake. And so I think it's a great thing. And we should be spending more time outdoors. You should be out there with your feet in the ground, grounding, with your feet into the earth, make it happen, and connect to the planet, and the more time you spend out there, I'll say this because I go for my walks every day still. And it's just such a beautiful thing, I see the animals, every day. I talk about this a lot. I know it sounds so crazy, but it's really so like calming, and it really just kind of brings you in. I just kind of watch them and say, this bird's not thinking about what time of day it is or anything like that. It's just doing its thing. And although today, I have to say, a very sad story. I saw an injured squirrel. I didn't know what to do. I almost wanted to go up and see if I can help the squirrel. I didn't think the squirrel would be receptive to me approaching it. It was already injured. It had like a big kind of cut on its side. I don't know if it was attacked by something and looked like it was in pain. And I was like, and I was, oh no, what do we do? This poor. I mean, I'm that bad. I could practically half break into tears when I see that. I got to walk away. I can't see this. Just let him go. If he's going to die, just let him go die, please. I'm sorry. What can I do to help this squirrel? Somebody help me help this squirrel, please. I know, let's go. We need medical personnel. We need squirrel medical personnel. Call in everybody. Call in everybody. All right, okay, all right. Let's see. Family dinners and movie nights again. Time to appreciate the little things in life. So there you go. If you have a family, I always say this, if you have a family and you like them, it's great to spend time with them. If not, if you don't like them, it's great to get away from them. Whatever it is, whatever side you're on, that's what you got to do to keep yourself stable. I got engaged to my boyfriend of 7 years at the very beginning of all the pandemic. We got engaged on vacation and got back from Jamaica like a few days before they stopped all international travel. So there you go. Was able to get engaged, got married, and then the pandemic, and then you're stuck together. I guess that's how you really find out if you love each other. I like to go back and see if these people are still married and in love in any capacity whatsoever. We learned to appreciate nature again, and I got maternity leave and having my baby boy. I always dreamed of this, but normally would have missed out on it due to unpaid leave policies, right? So that's either way, I'm not sure how the woman, I don't know what job she had. I know normally most jobs give you some sort of maternity leave, but either way, if you have a baby and now you can be home, you don't have to worry about you got to rush back to work in 2 weeks or something like that. However, what do they give you, a month? I don't know, whatever they give you. I started dating my boyfriend and got a job with Northwell. I don't know who Northwell is, but I'm sure it's a wonderful company. Congratulations to you on that. Let's see. This one says, I started a new job just 2 weeks before quarantining in March. I was lucky enough to be able to keep the position and work from home throughout the pandemic, still working from home at this time. I also completed my master's degree, adopted a second cat, and had some great quality family time. Being apart for so long makes you recognize how important the people in your life are. I've also paid more attention to myself with my mental health issues, and I've been putting on the back that, and I do this sometimes. I read a little too fast for myself. But my mental health issues that I've been putting on the back burner for about 10 years. And I will say this, I have a multitude of mental health disorders that I probably should be looking into and trying to fix. But unfortunately, I feel like eventually I have so many that they just kind of offset each other. One mental health issue kind of offsets the other one, and it keeps me just stable enough. All right. At the start of the pandemic, I was working somewhere that I didn't see any future in, and I wasn't happy. I also was having a lot of health issues. So during quarantine, I took the opportunity to leave my job and focus on getting physically well again. It also did wonders for my emotional well-being. And now I'm starting a new job in which I really enjoy. So you see, and again, we're talking about the positives because, it's easy to sit there and go, oh, pandemic, the world, and blah, blah, blah. But, again, I talk about this all the time. Humanity's consciousness is rising. It's a new world. The old paradigm is slipping off into the sunset, as it were, and we're, starting fresh and new. And, people are able to look at the positives that people are able to find, from what was such a seemingly bad thing. So, even though that's why I don't even get into where it came from and all China, a lab and all that kind of stuff, or, a monkey, or was it just a mutation of a virus on its own, or whatever people want to go down. I mean, I definitely think it's, well, it's on purpose, but it's on purpose. I can't say exactly how. It's on purpose in the regard that humanity, it was time for humanity to grow to the next level. So something had to be done to stop humanity from what it was doing so it can, put on the brakes, reflect, and then move forward. So I won't say it's on purpose like it was China, but it was on purpose that it was meant by the universe to be done. So however it played out is it still was meant to be. And I think it's It's a beautiful thing. This person was able to do a demo to a wall and open up the living room and kitchen and create a game room out of a workshop. So that's great. I rescued my dog. He's my best friend. One of the best things that ever happened to me. I have gained confidence in my ability to handle challenges and the courage to request my needs as a wife, mother, and employee. It was necessary for me to be mentally healthy with so much chaos, right? And I think it's important for us to always be, and this is one of the things I think we should take away the most from all this, what's been going on and still going, the world's still chaotic. So, you have to find that space where you maintain, your mental stability, where you feel comfortable, where you're not feeling like, oh my God, like the walls are closing in. And that's exactly what this show is all about. It's a space to share and to stay positive no matter what, and to remember that there's really nothing to take that seriously because, it's all just life playing out the way it should. So whatever situations happen in your life that really trigger you and getting you upset, those are the ones to reflect on and say, how do I use this to help me create a better situation for myself, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, let's see here. We have a couple more. Let's see. I met beautiful new friends through Zoom parties. I guess it's good to party with people online because then if you don't like somebody or you don't feel comfortable, you could just click leave and that's it. And you're gone. You don't have to worry about trying to make an excuse to slip out the door or anything like that. I have more time for myself. I'm starting to write a book about my migraine journey. Oh my goodness, that sounds like quite a headache, So no interest on student loans since the pandemic. That's great. Yeah, if you're out there with student loans. I hear a lot of student loans have been forgiven too. So let's see here what else we got. This another person saying it's done wonders for their mental health, done wonders for my mental health. At first I really struggled, but then I realized that nobody needs anything from me, not my jobs or my social life. It was all very calming. I also went on medication, which has just been phenomenal during COVID. Don't go on the medication. Let's skip that part. And just made me appreciate the little things. Unless you're again, it is 420. So if you're on the weed, that's not too bad. That'll help you appreciate some things when you smoke that up a little bit. Spending time with my family and having family game nights, having relaxing nights, watching movies, cuddles with the dog. I almost didn't want to go back to work. And who the hell does want to go back to work? That's the next thing we got to do. We need another pandemic to just wipe work off the map completely so we can really just enjoy. All right, I got one more for you here. This one says, I hope people are able to find light in the darkness of COVID like these people did. Don't lose hope, and thanks to those who shared their experiences. Okay, I was a note from the editor there at the end. So let me give a round of applause, and just remember that's what I'm talking about here. It's not shocking. No. Oh. I got you. All right. But seriously, there's a lot of positives out there. It's funny, even my previous supervisor from my last job when I was still living in Jersey, she didn't like to work from home. And when it first started, she was like uncomfortable with it. And now she loves working from home and doesn't want to go back. It took a little bit of time for her to flip a little bit, but I tried to tell her, like, why would you want to get up and drive somewhere into like this office or sorry for the ding. I got a text, Well, I got a phone call. I got a text. Can people just leave me alone for a half hour while I'm doing this damn show? No, but seriously. Yeah, and I just try to explain to her, like, why would you not want to, like, why would you want to get in the car, have to go there, then sit in the office all day, but of course she is married, so I understand maybe she wants a little bit of alone time, just a little bit of time. All right, no. Wow, we have to go with the horn. That's enough. All right. Yeah, so that's it. It's a perfectly planned Demic, because no matter where this came from, what it is, or what, think about the beauty of what it's created. Not for me, my life has been awesome. I can't tell you how happy, because for me personally, like, I was never worried about getting sick or anything like that, because I already know that, how you get sick and all that kind of stuff. And I don't believe for a second any of that crap. So wasn't even, to me, it was just like, wow, thank God that people are so, and I don't mean this because I know, listen, I get it. We're all different. So, this is my personality. We're just having a little bit of fun. But I said to myself, thank God people are so easily misled, because if everybody was really thinking, they wouldn't buy this shit for a second, and I'd be stuck going back into the damn office. But thank God. Thank God. So, and it was a blessing for me. And I said to myself, F this, man. I'm going to Florida and hanging out on the gosh darn beach. And, that's where I've been for about a year and a half now, and it's beautiful. So maybe drop some comments in here once you watch this. What has the pandemic done for you? The perfectly planned demic that has freed us, really. It's our first step in true freedom. Now we got to weed out all the bullshit and, the politics and the laws and the oppression, the monetary oppression, everything, the social division by races and genders and more genders. But you know what I'm saying? Seriously, we need to stop. It's the next step, but we just keep moving forward into a positive, beautiful new world. Okay, so that's what I have for you here today on Operation Status Quo. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, send this out to all your family, your friends, those you love, and for those who watch every day, you know what I'm going to say. Yeah? What am I going to say? Those you despise as well. Why? Because they need the most. Say it. They need the most help of all. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Hey-o. That's it. I think let's call it a day. Huh? How about I do you guys a favor and we call it a day? Seriously, thanks for tuning in. God bless you out there individually as well as a group. I love all of you, and I definitely appreciate this community building and people being involved and all that kind of stuff. And, there's plenty of great items, as it were, or whatever. I don't know. Here's still to come. I just keep rambling. So that's it. I'm not going to stop rambling, and that's it. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Operation Status Quo. Where am I? Disengaged.